So, this one's going to be about some Reddit questions, and it's also going to be about something that I'm now going to talk about in the first few minutes of the whole podcast. I don't know what it is going to be about. I still kind of just trying to figure it out, but I'm just willing to do this in the episode. I'm just willing to do this like just in really short term kind of just question solution thing. And yeah, there's going to be more after the intro. I at least hope. Yeah, there is going to be something. Yeah, I'll see you. And the intro once again is silent, but it's quite fine. And with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And I'm really happy to be here. And I'm also really happy to talk to you about some things that I'm passionate about. So, what should I be talking about today? So here are actually questions, as you can see. And I've actually, just because maybe it might be interesting, I've actually figured it out that I can actually configure the software that I'm using for recording the episodes, that I'm actually able to use my keyboard, so basically some shortcuts to switch between the scenes, which is kind of the normal scene that I'm using for some texts, and this is the one that I'm using when I'm alone, obviously. So yeah, in the last episode, we've been talking about spending your money and making money and all of those things. And this one's probably going to be about doing something that you actually want to do. Because there was a lot of quote unquote controversy in terms of PewDiePie being like, well, I do want to just have a break, which at least in my point of view is quite fucking fine. He has been doing this for 10 fucking years. And it is quite a lot of work. It is something that a lot of people just seem to be underestimating. Because it indeed is quite some work, because I'm also doing it, I'm of course also doing some other shit. Of course I'm also on other platforms, but he as well is on other platforms as well. And he has definitely, I think he's having way more to do than I have, because of course I'm living at home. I do not have my own quote unquote family and all those things. There's a lot of things outside of the whole work field that also matter in life. And of course, it is also something that he said in the video that he was releasing yesterday. And I would actually be very interested in just seeing more of the whole business idea or the whole business mind of him, because there has to be a business mind, because he also has to sustain himself. Just there's no way around that. He has to just know something about it. He has to just use some things, quote unquote, and all those things. There has to be something, there has to be something of a, also calculations and just finances and just keeping track of these things and keeping track of the costs and all those things. There gotta have to be something like that. And I would actually be really interested in seeing more of it. And there's not a lot of interviews or a lot of podcasts that he is on to somehow get into his mind a bit, I would say. But still, I can really understand why he needs a break, because I don't need a break. Just first of all, and I'm also not going to be like, well, after a year and a few months, I'm feeling just really shitty and I feel like I should stop. If you feel like this, if you're also doing it, if you're also just recording something, if you're also having a podcast, if you're also just having a business, whatnot, yeah, and you actually feel well, I need a break, and it is something that I actually do not really want to do and do not really like to do, and it is exhausting myself, then please either search for something else or maybe try it out in a different way, because I don't have to just make a 30-minute episode if I don't feel like it. I don't fucking have to. I can also just make a fucking 30-minute episode or 20-minute episode. I could also be making a 60-minute episode if I want to, and of course there's gonna be a lot of rules that you're setting for yourself. I'm having a rule of having just, I don't know, not really 10-minute episodes, even though as I'm thinking about it, 10-minute episodes would actually be something that's quite great for quite some people. But there's just a lot of rules that are not just really rules, but it's just rules or guidelines that you just made up for yourself to just guide your life, guide your work, guide yourself as well. But we're spending quite a lot of time working, and I've been talking about it before, and I've been probably talking about it just way too much. But we are spending such a lot of time at work, We're working 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, or something like that. It still depends on your position, it still depends on the country that you're living in, it still depends on laws, and still depends on just various and numerous factors. But still, it is just really a big part of life. I've actually been looking up some statistics, and I've been searching for a specific one that says that life is actually like in thirds or thirded or whatever it actually is called. I don't fucking know. And 1/3 of it is actually work, or it seems to be work. If you're working, I guess, or if you're working, I think 60 years or something. I'm not quite sure. Like, it still is really, really, really a lot. Even if it is not a third of your life, it could still be like a quarter of your life. And this is still enough. And I think it probably is just at least a quarter of your life. And it is a lot, it is really a lot, and it is especially a lot if you think about it as like doing something that you hate for 8 hours a day, maybe even 7 days a week. If you're in a really bad position, or if you're like just, I don't know, having to just take several jobs and you don't like any of them, it is fucked up. And you shouldn't be doing this. If you're having the choice, you shouldn't be doing this. And now it is actually correlated to just spending and making money. Because if you're just spending a lot of money on bullshit and on things you do not need, of course, you're gonna need a lot of fucking jobs. And you're gonna then probably also need some jobs that you do not really want to be doing. And on the other hand, if you're just trying to save as much money as you can, you're gonna be safe. You don't actually need to just have a shitty job. You don't need to be working a shitty job. You can if you want to, but you're having enough money, because you're living below your means. You're just actually rich because you're having more money than you're spending. Then you're actually somehow rich. At least this is something that we've also been talking about in the last episode, but I'm not quite sure about it. Like, this is not my definition of just being rich, even though it actually is like just having more than you need. Yeah, it is actually rich, rich in money. Because you can also be rich in just feelings, rich in tears, some kind of as well, rich in quite a lot of things. So my point is, do something that you want to be doing. And to just figure that out, I would say we should be trying out as many things as we possibly can. And I'm hopefully also going to do that, even though it is going to be like pretty difficult. And I think it is especially difficult just because of the people. Once you have just been once you actually made friends there, it is not going to be that easy, because in the next job or in the new job you're going to have, or that you might be searching for, there's not going to be any friends. Maybe, probably, it still depends on just where you're just leaving to and just things, and it is not that easy. At least this is what I'm thinking about, I'm actually thinking about the people there. I'm thinking like, well, I don't know, like it is always somehow difficult, I guess, to just make good friends, I would say. It's I don't know if you can guarantee that. It also depends on the people there, like the people that are working there, of course. If there are people that are really open and open-minded and whatnot, then it's probably not going to be such a problem. But if it is like just only introverts, then of course it's not going to be that easy. And at least in my point of view, the people around you, whether it is just in work, in your life, in whatever, they just really matter. Not only just because you are kind of the person of the 5 people that are surrounding yourself, or whatever it actually is called, I don't fucking know. But just also because like it's gonna be just better if you're loving a lot with the people around you. If you're happy with happy people around you and all those things, like it's just gonna be better. It is just gonna be better. And I do think it is not like me that is thinking about that, but it's probably just quite some people. But yeah. This is my little quote-unquote rant about working and just having a job that you actually do not like, And unfortunately, it is something that quite a lot of people are doing. And I can somehow understand it to some degree. If it is about money, I can understand it. But if it is about just being lazy and just not moving out of your comfort zone, because just making new friends and just taking that risk is definitely moving out of your comfort zone, then I can also understand it, but I do not understand it in a way that I think like, well, you should not actually be working that job. You shouldn't be doing that. It is not worth your time, and it is not worth the effort, just also because there is going to be some people that would actually like to be doing the job that you're hating, because we all have different things. We are having different values. We have different things that we are thinking about, and we are all different. Fortunately, fortunately, we all are different, which is something that's really, really, really nice. But so, let's see what questions we're having there, and let's see if there's something that's good. Let's see if there's something that's bad. Let's see if there's something that's interesting. And let's see if there's something that is hopefully going to be of value for us and for you. For us and for you, yeah? Because us is only me, because I'm multiple people. Yeah, never. Have you ever seen a perfect tree? But still you will describe almost all trees as beautiful. Everybody grows in their own way. Perfection doesn't exist. Perfection isn't real. It exists, but only in your mind. Grow. Not question marks, but exclamation mark. And yeah, there is no such thing as perfection. Also in terms of the product that you're doing or the product that you're making, there's not going to be something like perfection. There's going to be something of value, and there's going to be something that's good, and there's going to be something that's bad. Most often, the good things are those things that are good for the people that you're trying to serve. Because if the people that you're trying to serve are like, well, I don't like the product, then your product is shit. And you should be doing just another product. You should be just improving it and whatnot. But if they think that your product is not good, but you're trying to sell it to them, it's not going to be that easy, nor possible, kinda. But yeah. The next one is already like a pretty difficult one, I guess. I'm a failure. And I'm gonna read. Sorry this is so long, I just needed to express myself. Journaling seems so stupid in the moment. TLDDR at the end, which is the, whatever it is called, is like just the short version of it, as far as I know. But what does it actually mean? TLDR. Long story short, which, like, yeah, never mind. So I feel like course and I feel like absolute crap. Even the effort I've put in seems like such a waste, and I might drop out. Like, it is basically the exact same thing that we were talking about before. Like, if it is something that you hate, whether it is a course that you just paid a lot for, whether it is something else, then I would highly suggest you to just not fucking take it and not fucking do it. If there's no kind of just reason behind that, if there's no kind of just proper reason behind that and or why you should actually be doing that, then please don't fucking do that. Which I think it makes sense, but still there's going to be a lot of situations where it's just not going to be easy, where it's just not going to be easy, where it's just not going to be beautiful and or nice and or simple. It's always simple, but it is definitely not easy. So I would say, like, yeah, you have maybe lost a lot of money, you maybe lost a lot of time, maybe you lost even people. I don't know. I'm not gonna read the whole one, but I think that you have probably still learned something. And one of the things you just for sure have learned is that you don't like whatever this course is all about. You just don't like that, and this is a really great insight because you've basically saved yourself quite some time. Because maybe in the future you would have done that as well, in terms of like, okay, let's see if I like that course, which might even be even more expensive in the future, if it is about money there, or which might even be longer in the future. So yeah, I would say drop out, do something else, and or maybe just like, you can always find passion, whatever. We are all able to do so. We are all just able to do that. The thing is it worth it? Is it worth the time? Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the time that you're also gonna lose by doing whatever, by just being in the course, by just not dropping out of the course? Like, yeah, it is difficult. So I would highly suggest to kind of think about it and just sleeping a few nights over it and just seeing whether it's just, if your opinion is gonna just change, because my opinions are just heavily different in the evening, especially when I'm tired and all those things. Like, it just, everything plays into that. Everything plays into just situations and or decisions, which is actually what I wanted to say. I'm actually gonna upward these two. I went to the dentist. This was a very scary thing for me. I had a lot of dental issues as a kid that made the dentist a very scary place. As an adult, I stopped going. Then as more and more time went without going, it became more and more scary to go back. I was sure that if I've ever did, because it had been so long, they would tell me that my teeth were all rotted. But yesterday I went for the first time in many years and I have 5 small cavities, and that's it. No root canals or dead teeth or gum disease or anything of the sort. Plus, they did my cleaning and now my teeth are very white and I already feel a lot more confident about my smile. I'm getting my cavities filled in a couple of weeks. I'm getting a referral to ortho to fix my crooked teeth. Yeah, I had breaks as a kid, but braces. I'm sorry, braces as a kid, but they shifted again as I got older. I'm going to try to maintain my dental health moving forward and so on, which is amazing. You know, I think it is actually one of a pretty classical example of something that's really not a big deal for maybe the majority of the people, but it's definitely going to be a pretty big deal for this person. You know, going to the dentist is actually something that I do not like. I wouldn't say that I don't like it at all, but it is just not something that I just like to be doing. You know, it is one of the things that just takes time, but it is important. It is important, you know, and I'm actually appreciating that, and I'm appreciating the chance that I'm having, and also the just opportunity that I'm having, that I'm actually able to go to the dentist and just get my teeth all right, and all those things. Like, it is amazing. But as I said, some people might think that being hit by a car is not a big deal, you know, not just because of just the physical issues that you might just get out of it, or that you might have to deal with afterwards, but also because of psychological reasons. A lot of people just might be like, or I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people might be like, well, it is a very big deal, you know, I've been hit by a car, you know, I'm gonna be dead, I'm whatever. And some people are gonna be like, well, you know, I've got hit by a car, it hurted, and I just fucked me up, and I'm gonna just have a lawsuit and whatever. But it's not gonna be something devastating. It's not gonna be something that big. It's not gonna be something that's that huge. It's not gonna be something that's too important, maybe. But like, yeah, you know, it actually reminds me of the kind of saying that is really in culture, you know, really in society, and especially in my place, I would say, don't do something to people that you also wouldn't like to just be having or be getting. And you know what I mean, you know what I'm referring to. But I would actually say, no, give people what you don't want to have, because it is about the other people. It's not about you. If you're buying presents, for example, you should not be looking for something that you would like to have, because it is about the other people. Today I've been actually buying some only things that besides one thing, that I wouldn't like to have, because I don't just need those things, and I do not actually think that they're gonna satisfy any need of mine. You know, they're also not gonna make me happier. Just not even in like, of course, if somebody just gives them to me, I'm gonna be happy, because it is always something nice to get something. Like, especially if it is something that's like just really just here you go. Even if it is something that they have actually gotten for free, I don't care. It just feels good. It just kind of feels great, you know, to have something like that. But yeah, some people like this, some people like that. You like this, and the other people like that. So therefore, like, just look for the other person, you know. And if, like, of course, if you want to be hugged, then hugging everyone else is not going to be a good idea, because not everyone wants to be hugged, even though you want to be hugged. Kind of the just simplest kind of explanations for what I'm thinking about. The next one, which is going to be the last one, and which is also an image. The hard times make it harder to realize what's good, which is a quote by Robin Williams, Good Will Hunting. I'm gonna zoom in actually, just because I don't know if you can see it or not. You'll have bad times, but it will always wake you up to the good stuff you weren't paying attention to. I've actually kind of injured myself some kind of, therefore I'm also not gonna be working out my legs today, but only my abs and maybe just arms and those things that I'm just normally not working out. Just because we've had a soccer tournament and I've somehow just injured myself. I don't actually know how, but I can't just walk properly, which is really fucked up. Especially when you're having to buy fucking Christmas presents in a fucking city and you're having to fucking go around. It's not that easy. It's not that nice, but still, like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm actually a little bit feared that there's something just going on that's not having anything to do with the muscle, but just rather with the bone. Like, of course, it's just the muscle is just teared apart. It's also not good. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna see. But it's gonna be fine, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time. I at least hope, and I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success. And I just, yeah, please remind yourself on the fact that you should be a nice person, and doing nice things is going to lead to be a nice person. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea. Because a lot of people started out with And also companies started out with solving something that really pissed them off in the first place. And there's probably also something like that where there's no solution to that. So yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time.